Well, nothing ever goes to plan, does it? Today's plan was quite simple. This morning I was going to do some clothes washing, which is a pain. Takes takes so long to do, but I was going to do that whilst doing some planning for various Patreon videos and the like. That was this morning, and then this afternoon I was going to be doing some guitar work, some practice, as you have to if that's what you do. Of course, that was the plan. The plan has failed. The plan has failed because for some reason the freezer door in my fridge has blown off or come away, and I'm going to have to get into this, clear out the freezer and fridge, try and defrost it and see if I can find out what's going on, and hopefully not end up having to purchase a new freezer door, because as you can imagine on these things it's just ridiculous prices for what is a very small, basic but bespoke part. So defrosting the freezer particularly is far more difficult than you can imagine, particularly as I have literally just today filled it. I've got some shopping and literally just filled it, because obviously where do you put all that frozen stuff? It's going to go off. So what I'm trying to do for the period is, I don't know if you can see, I have basically taken as many plastic bags there as I can, stuff them all together, and I'm kind of hoping that there's going to be, air between the layers, which will create a sort of thermal insulation with any luck. I then did manage to get hold of a one of these insulated freezer bag things, so I'm going to put it all in there, and hopefully that will keep the frozen stuff frozen for long enough whilst I perform this defrosting task. We shall see. Okay, so we're looking inside the fridge here. As you can see, I've now emptied it into my makeshift carrier bag freezer, including the contents of the freezer, which in true Blue Heater fashion I prepared earlier. Yeah, so what we can see, that's one corner of the freezer door. The other corner, there is no pin. See, there's a pin stuck out of that one. There's no pin stuck out of that one. So where is that pin? That is obviously what has happened. Where is that pin? The pin is not in the fridge. So, okay, I may have to wait for all this to defrost before I can say that it's certain it's not in the drip tray. We have an errant pin, but that would certainly explain what has gone on. I suppose I can give this a bit of a clean now that it's empty. Right, well, I'm going to have to see if I can determine what happened to this pin, and otherwise I'm going to have to try and makeshift one, or I will be left having to purchase a new door, because otherwise the door won't hang on to the freezer. For the sake of a pin. Okay, let's see what happens next. So, having a closer inspection, my initial thoughts may have been wrong. It looks like there isn't a pin there. Can I reverse this camera and let you have a look? No, I have to stop the video. Right, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so again, this is the corner. No, that's not the corner. This is the corner we're looking at. Now, once in position, what you can see is actually there's no way for a pin to come through here, as there is on the other side. Pin coming through. So what I think is going on here is that this recess obviously interacts with something in the fridge again. So if we have a look down here, so could be that that has just frozen up a bit and yeah, and perhaps being pushed off its dimple. So maybe not as dramatic as I'd at first thought. So it doesn't make quite as good a video. Well, it's just part and parcel of the crises of living in a van. But it looks like hopefully once all this defrosts, we can get that freezer door back on without ruining too much food, and all will be well again. I will let you know. This here is the side plug, which I thought had the dimple on, if you recall, that the door would interface to. Now that it's finally defrosted, or at least this part has, I've been able to take it out, and it looks like what I thought was a dimple, or sort of an interface for the dimple. Turns out looks like it was a peg that has broken off. Here's our door again. It looks like that used to be attached to there in a sort of permanent fashion, which it no longer is. Rats. So I don't know, I'm going to have to see if I can find a glue that is happy to operate at extreme temperatures, or at least freezer temperatures if nothing else, to try and get that to fit back on. Alternatively, I suppose I could try making a new peg, maybe with a screw or something like that. I shall have to have a think. I do have some super glue in the van, but I'm not sure whether that will be strong enough with the temperatures, or whether it will just crack. Anyhow, that's one for me to have a look at. So the freezer has defrosted, and I have actually I found some glue, some super glue, which I've temporarily fitted that peg back on with. I don't know how long it's going to last because of the temperatures this gets down to. I imagine it might well snap again. But funnily enough, I've actually come across another problem in that can you see there's two sections here? There's like the top part of this door and this bottom part. This is the insulated part that keeps your freezer cool. Actually, this back has also come away. I can see from what's happened on the inside, it's just there's a layer of some sort of glue. So I am going to have to try and get some glue of some description that can handle the temperature, and we'll glue plastic back to polystyrene, which there seems to be some sort of polystyrene in there as an insulator. It will have to do for now. It will have to do for now whilst I try and solve that, but in the meantime I need to get the food back in here before it all goes off. So there we go. Well, we've dealt with the fridge for now, or the freezer. In the end I just used a model basing glue to try and get the, as I say, that back part of the freezer door had come away. So I've used a model basing glue just to try and get that to stick for now. I don't think for 2 minutes it will hold, but if it can just last until I can find some decent glue to do that with in the next couple of days, then hopefully I can get that done properly. And also, where that peg was glued back onto the door, how long that will last I don't know. Again, I will have to see, excuse me, I have to see if a better glue might do the job, or whether I'm going to have to manufacture something myself. There you go, freezer doors. Just what I wanted to spend the last 2 or 3 hours trying to deal with. A new one for me to take care of there. That is van life for you. But on the plus side, what I can note is that my temporary freezer bag idea of having about 30 carrier bags all inside one another and then putting those inside a cool bag type of idea actually worked. Everything came out still pretty much frozen. Didn't seem to have really thawed at all. So and that was probably after a good, couple of hours, 2-3 hours, like I say. I forgot to time it actually. So that worked. So that's something, isn't it? I've learned how to create a freezer bag at will, as long as I have maybe 30 carrier bags at my disposal. So there we go. I will let you know what exciting things come of the freezer door repair. But for now, I will chat with you later. Bye.